afternoon, everybody. Eric with American Business Systems here. I hope that you have come to enjoy a webinar with me this afternoon, and I look forward to spending this next hour with you. For those that are logging in, and you finally getting on in here, Edwin, it's good to see you, and Samuel, and Kirima, I hope I said your name correctly. Lloyd, it's good to see you. Brad, it's good to see everybody here. Got some more folks that are coming on in. Let's see who, Raphael, good to see you. Scott, good to see you. So it's good to see everybody here this afternoon. We've got some more folks that are piling in here, and we will get started here in just a moment. As we have said on so many other times when we've done our webinars, it's kind of like just think of this as that we're at a coffee shop, we're visiting with each other and just sharing ideas with each other. And we're going to talk today specifically about, can you see an ROI within your first year with this business? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And for some of you, an ROI may be a little bit new, and I want to make sure that everybody understands what that is. So I'm going to spend a little brief time explaining what a return on investment is, how it kind of pulls itself together, and then we'll get into the meat of how you get there as we go through the presentation there. We've got a good crowd here. It's good to see everybody. Again, my name's Eric Ogier. I'll be your host this afternoon for our webinar. This is going to be the fastest hour that you'll have this entire week. It goes by pretty quickly. And but I want to make sure that you get some of your questions answered today. And so as we go through the presentation, as you'll see here, there'll be some spots there that specifically that says questions. And I want you to think about maybe some of your questions, or if you've got some questions as we go through it, you can certainly ask those. And some of those I may wait towards later towards the end of the webinar, just because I know I'm going to get to that particular topic at that particular time, or I may just hold on to it because it's probably better fit to talk about it towards the end anyway. So, all right, we've got a few more folks that have come in. Again, what we're going to discuss today is your return on investment. And so, folks, obviously, you kind of know what that is telling you already. It's basically whatever investment that you're making into a particular business. I'm going to tilt my camera down just a little bit. So whatever you're trying to invest in, obviously you want to know how quickly you can get that money back. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and we'll show you some examples of how that can be done today. Again, if you've never been on any of our webinars, my name is Eric Ogier. I'll be your host this afternoon as we kind of go through today's webinar. What I'd like for you to do is find that question and answer box. Just type in maybe the state that you're in. Maybe if you want to include your city, that's fine. I just kind of like to know where everybody's located throughout the United States here as they're coming on in. So, and it also gives you the location of where you will answer your questions or put in your questions as we kind of go through this. It kind of helps me kind of keep everything in good housekeeping over here. So we got Brad for Virginia. I know we've got other folks here. So Inez, Lloyd, Mohammed, Tasha, it looks like it's from right here in Arlington. Good to see you. Got beautiful weather here in Texas. Kishore is looks like right over here in Dallas. So we've got a couple of Texas folks here. We are experiencing some beautiful weather over the last couple of days here in the Texas area. I know that there's some more here. So folks, if you don't mind popping in here, Demarius, Edwin, Inez, let's see what we've got. Lloyd's from Atlanta. Good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Raphael, Samuel, Scott. Tasha's already typed in hers. So good. Let's keep sharing where you're located in here, and that'll be very helpful for me as we kind of go through. Scott's from Florida. Raphael's from Nevada. Good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good. See, we got folks all over the place here. So before I get started, I want to give you Demarius is from New York. See, there you go. Thank you. I appreciate it. Keep those cards and letters coming in. A little bit about American Business Systems. Again, some of you might know a little bit about what we do. We try to give a little overview of ABS, where it started, how it got started. Kind of gives everybody kind of a foundation to who we are and what we're all about. So American Business Systems has been around for over 30 years now. It was great to be able to say finally we hit 30 years. But folks, that kind of helps you understand the longevity of medical billing, revenue cycle management. also kind of gives you the longevity of American business systems and that it is a good, solid business opportunity to be thinking about. There are a lot of business opportunities I'm sure that some of you are looking about, especially in um, the investment window that you might be looking for, maybe anything from 25,000 up to $50,000 in that range there that you're trying to think where can you plug your money in the best place to help you. So we're fitting within that window. So it's a good business to be a part of. And obviously we're going to share with you if you can make a return on your investment within the first year. So we're going to kind of talk about that. But again, let me tell you a little bit about the history of American business systems. It all started with this little family here several years ago. Patrick and Linda, Adam and Sarah, right there, as you can see them. Patrick actually started this business because of Linda. Linda was asked to do some medical billing for a durable medical equipment company, and it kind of got started there. They ended up getting a few more clients, and then all of a sudden they started sharing what was going on with them. They started sharing with their family and some of the friends, and all of a sudden they got, oh, hey, but they got some too. So it became a kind of a brainchild for Patrick and Linda to say, you know what, we love helping people. So let's just kind of create this as a business opportunity. We've got the training now. We kind of know what to do. We kind of know how to go out there and get those clients and build this business. And so that's where ABS started as just a little small mom and pop. You talk about the American dream here. And then because it's such a great business to transfer, especially internally to family. Patrick's done that for Adam, who you see the little guy over on the left. Now the big man over here on the right. Adam has taken over for his dad as the CEO now, and Adam is kind of taking it up into his father's shoes, where he is writing books. And he's written a brand new article that's going to be coming out in the Building and Coding Advantage magazine. He's part of the one of the editorial people that get to write some articles for BNC magazine, and that one's going to be coming out specifically on AI, the whole thing about artificial intelligence, and is artificial intelligence going to take over medical billing? So he's written an article in there. It's got some great studies and some scholarly information there that's going to be there. And then what we're going to do once that actually gets published out there in the BNC Advantage magazine, we're actually going to do a webinar here, and I'm actually going to ask Adam to come on here, and we'll do some interview and kind of ask him about his article and share some of that information. Well, one of the other things that Adam has done is created an organization several years back called MIRMA. Now, MIRMA is Medical Revenue Management Association of America, and this whole organization is for those that have become part of American business systems. Once you've completed your training, then you're automatically a part of this organization, and it is this organization here that also provides you your certification. So MIRMA, as you can see there, is the group that actually certifies you. So when doctors ask, where did you get your certification? You say, I got it from the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. I'm a part of that organization. It's been around for over 10 years. It's got a medical director. It's got other people there on their board of directors there that you can go kind of take a look at and see what they're all about. And you can see there's a members only part of it where you can get more information for yourself. So it's a really great organization. It kind of gives you something to point to other than something of American business systems. And then the whole package, as we're going to talk a little bit about it today, comes complete with a medical billing platform, which is iClaim and EMRX. It is a web-based system. I will say this early on right now. If you haven't gotten an opportunity to see this live, I'd encourage you to go out and check in with your business coach that you're working here with here, and then they will give you a tour of this or a demonstration of the software to show you how easily it is to work, but then how it's going to help the doctors collect more money. So when you're asking, can I make a return on my investment? Well, the best way is to try to help that doctor collect at much as possible, as close to 100% of their revenue as possible. So kind of put it in perspective, most doctors only collect anywhere from maybe as low as 60 to maybe 80, 85% of their money. So you can see that there's a lot of money that just doesn't come back to the doctors on the first part of the billing side of it. However, with the iClaim platform being available, and for the parts of it that actually cause the claims that are normally rejected actually get paid. Our rejection rate, as you would call it in this medical billing world, is less than 2%. So we're getting doctors paid more than 98% of their money on first time goes. So when you're thinking about, gosh, how quickly can I get my return on my investment? It's actually how much quicker you can get the doctor's investment going back with everything that they've already accomplished. Then we have other services that will help support you. Some of these actually help get your foot in the door, as we kind of like to say. Some of these are continual ancillary services that help the doctor with their coding. If they've got some issues going on with HIPAA compliancy, or they need to get their HIPAA compliancy stuff up and running, I get it updated. We've got Compliancy Guard for doctors who want to kind of venture out and make a little bit more money and add another service to what they're already currently doing with their patients. They can add virtual care, which gives the doctors the opportunity to see their patients' vitals from remote from their home. That would be like blood pressure, glucometer, which is blood sugar, pulse oximeter, those things like that to keep up with that patient to make sure that they're doing okay, even while they're away from the doctor's office. So these are some great things here that we've got for you. And we're going to talk about a few of these today. That's why we wanted to kind of make sure that you see this and we'll see how some of this plays out. Now, if you haven't already done this, again, I'd like you to get back with your business coach and get with them and ask them to give you the link or the ebook, basically, of the Medical Revenue Management Research Guide. It's about a 65 page document. It's going to kind of go through the history again, all the different aspects of the business. It's even going to have some of the growth part of it there. So for you, so you can start making your projections of what you think you might be able to do, so that again, that you can learn how to get your ROI back, your return on investment. So I'm even going to talk with you about, again, the investment, and then how quickly I think you can get that back. So Samuel's asking, how can I make money through medical billing? Should I go to a hospital or clinic for my customers to seek those out? So Samuel, we're going to kind of talk a little bit about some of that today. So I'm going to answer your question throughout the presentation. So I want to show you how you can make money. I'm actually going to show you how much money that you can make, but you're not going to want to go to the hospitals to go do hospital billing. Let me stop here real quickly to kind of help set the stage, because a lot of people that if you're brand new to this, you're thinking, can I do hospital billing? Am I doing just doctor billing? What is it and who could I bill for? So let me kind of camp out there just real quickly and kind of expound upon my answer for Samuel. So let's first start off with hospital billing. Can you do hospital billing? You can do hospital billing, but hospital billing and doctor billing are two separate things, okay? Hospital billing uses a form called a UBO4 claim form. It's going to have a lot more detail on that. It's a lot that you got to keep up with, because you've got food implementation charges, you've got medication charges, you've got room charges, you've got nurse charges, you've got this charge, that charge. So filling out a UBO4 form for a hospital visit is a huge thing there. iClaim does not process UBO4 billing, okay? But you may have heard me say, well, Eric, you just said that you could do it. There are some opportunities that we have for experienced people, or if you're one of those and you want to do billing for UBO4, we have a completely different platform that can happen. So let's just stick with the iClaim EMRX platform. The billing platform, or the billing form that is used for doctor billing, or what's called the professional billing, is called a CMS 1500 form. So that basically has the patient's name, their address, their age. It shows an area on that form. It's a red form, and it's going to have a place there to the diagnosis code. That's what's wrong with the patient. Those codes go there. And before you kind of freak out on codes, you're actually getting the codes from the doctor. Because, like, if I'm doing billing for a doctor and I actually had to input it on the paper, like Linda used to have to do, she would get the codes from the doctor, the diagnosis, what's wrong with the patient, and then what's called the procedure code. The procedure code is the kind of what you kind of think of it as the money code. It's what's going to actually designate how much it gets reimbursed back to the doctor or the clinic. And then there's a few other little things that you put down there, dates of service, places of location, and those things like that. You get all that, and then you ship it off to like a Blue Cross Blue Shield or a Medicare or whatever. You used to have to put those in the mail. That's obviously we don't do that anymore. That's done all through iClaim. Now, the great thing about iClaim, and this is why I want you to go get a demonstration done so you can kind of see what happens here, because all this is going to be done electronically. We've got all the codes that are built in there, both the diagnosis codes and the procedure codes, and there's little easy clicks to put place of location and dates of service and all that. You can get through a claim usually typically within less than 2 minutes. So you could probably find out that you'll see here in a little bit, you can probably get through 30, 40 claims way within an hour's time. So, but I want to show you how much money you can make on processing 20 to 30 claims in a day, because that's basically how many patients a doctor will see in a day. So if you got one doctor that's got their doctor shop there on the corner, Main Street or whatever, and they're trying to see how many patients per doctor. That's kind of the average, 20 to 30, maybe pushing about 35 to 40, but boy, they're not really spending a lot of time with those patients. So, but if you think about it, each visit is about 15 to 20 minutes long. Getting through all those, that's a full day's work there. So I kind of give you a little bit of overview, hospital billing versus doctor billing, which is professional billing. So you kind of got that picture there. So hopefully that really kind of helped paint the picture of where we're going today. So let's first talk about just business. We're going to talk just strictly business, not ABS business, just business in general, about how long does it typically take a business to become profitable. Now, there is an organization out there that has something very similar to QuickBooks. It's called FreshBooks. This CPA wrote this article, and I think most of us already know this, but on average, a new business will take anywhere from 2 to 3 years to become profitable. That means it's back in the black. That means it's what you've invested into the business, you've gotten all that back, and now you're starting to make money. That's the profitable part of it. You can see here, according to the Houston Chronicle, this is so funny. I used to live down in Houston, so I know that newspaper. The more capital a business needs up front to provide its products and services, and the higher its salaries, the longer it's going to take for that company to become profitable. So let's talk about that real quickly. And we'll interject some information here. The difference between a business opportunity and a franchise. Okay, so typically franchises are a lot more expensive because the franchisee or has all this product and all the marketing material and logos, and it's all what's that? There's an organization called ServPro. It's called ServPro is a franchise. Okay, so you'd have to carry ServPro's logo. You got to use all their material. You got to use all that. So there's a high cost to all of that. So that's why typically those type businesses are kind of expensive. But then there's franchise fees. There's some royalty fees that go along with that. So you can see how that kind of could eat into your profits as time goes on. With a business opportunity, it's usually just a one-time investment, and typically there are no franchise fees, there's no royalties. That's the way we are. There's no royalties, there's no franchise fees that you're going to have to deal with ours. So, which means you'll get quicker to profits because you've only got a smaller investment, and typically in the beginning you don't have any employees. It's pretty much you out there, so you're kind of part of your investment is what you're going through there. So he goes on to say how many businesses are profitable within the first year. Very few startups are profitable in their first year. Most take anywhere from 18 to 24 months to become profitable. Business with smaller startup costs, such as online or home businesses, which we are, may be able to turn a profit earlier. So this is where we are. We're within that realm right there. So typically, could we see a new business owner with American Business Systems get their return on investment in 18 to 24 months? I've seen it happen way too many times that they happen within the first year. So that's why we kind of named this, can you see an ROI within your first year with being in this business? Uh, Keyshore is asking a question here. I'm going to hang on to your question here just for a little bit because I want to kind of stay with the topic of this whole ORI. So let's just really again define what ORI. So that's the return on investment. Again, this is from a group called Air Focus. Return on investment is a key business matrix that measures the profitability of investments or marketing activities by weighing the size of the upfront cost against the net profits it produces. That's all that it is. So you take your initial investment, you take out all the other things that your cost and your marketing, and you pull all that out, and then you finally get your net profits out of there. You've got your return on investment. That's basically all that it is. So it's a very simple business understanding of what a return on your investment is. So I'm at a point where I can answer some questions here. So I'm gonna answer Keyshore's question here just before I go any further. Because what I've found that many times when we're in a situation like this, when we're doing a webinar or we're within a group here, if you hold on that question too much longer, sometimes people have to get off, but then also someone might be kind of stuck there saying, "Hey, Eric, if Eric can just answer this question, I think I can grasp everything else." So you're going to see through this presentation, I've put little slides in here just to make me stop to make sure that I've got time for your question. So Keyshore's asking this question. Doctors might already use some billing software. Do you have strategies to convey them to get into the business? So yes, we do have strategies for that. One of the strategies is what I was just telling you earlier, and that is doing a demonstration for the doctor. So once we show the doctor the iClaim platform, and there's a couple of other little aspects of this that we're going to teach you and show you how to do these different strategies. That's what we're going to do and help you to understand how that doctor would want to change from their current billing system over to your billing system. Now, here's a little caveat, Keyshore, and that everybody else is listening in today. There may be a period of time where you say, "Look, doctor, you've already told me you've made your investment into this billing platform or whatever currently you're using, and you may want to try to stick with it." We can show you how to improve that process. Now, we can't guarantee that less than 2% unless you're utilizing the iClaim EMRX platform. But we can show you how to get there as close to that as possible. So we've got tips and tricks on the billing side of the back end. Let's just call it the back end office stuff to really clean that up and get that humming like that. So there's some things there that we can actually help the doctors not feel like they have to switch automatically. But I'm telling you, usually you're able to get that doctor to answer their questions and kind of get everything and then smooth them on over to over here to use the iClaim platform. And again, that's why I'm encouraging you to go ask your business coach to show it to you because it may not make a whole lot of sense right now. And what I just shared with you may have answered some of your question, but it could cause some more questions. So that's why I want you to get back with your business coach and get a demonstration of the software. So let's talk about, first of all, what is the cost? Let's kind of just see what everything else is. I love using this particular page of our software because it says a lot here. First of all, it just kind of talks about, your traditional jobs may take up too much of your time, or you're paid a little bit not as what you think. And there's some, conventional franchise opportunities can be a little risky, and obviously we know very expensive. So what we've been able to do is create a system and an option for you to get started at a lower rate. The investment's right about $30,000. We're going to talk about that and then actually how that gets you back in. But the other thing is, this is what I'm going to touch on at the very last, is that little checkbox marks there with a shield in it, or that shield with a checkbox mark in it, talking about a 30-day money-back guarantee. I'll tell you up at the front, and I know sometimes people have to leave in the middle of these webinars, but I want to share this up front. Look as you may out there, talk with other business opportunities out there, talk with other franchises out there, and ask them, do they have a 30-day money-back guarantee, which will allow you to go through all of their training, get all the material, get everything, and then finally at the end of 30 days, if it's not right for you, can you get your money back? Just simply ask them. You'll be hard-pressed to find any of them out there. ABS has been doing this for years. I bet you I'll say the last 20 years. because I've been a part of ABS for about 17 years, and I know that they were already doing it back then. So it's been around for a long time, okay? And it's the Phillips family kind of they're taking that front end risk because obviously they were hardworking people just like you are. Nobody wants to lose their investment, so that's why that's there. So we'll talk a little bit more about that this afternoon as we go through the presentation. I do see another question there. So, Tasha, I'll get to yours here in just a moment and we'll answer your question. But again, what's the investment? So we're talking about what are you going to do to put down and to invest in yourself, to get involved with American business systems. And like I said, it's that investment is right at $30,000. Okay. And we know that that's not just chump change. That's you probably worked hard for it. You've saved for it. May have a little bit of savings or have a retirement you want to pull out. You're trying to utilize and make a little bit more, return on your money instead of just letting it sit there at 4% or 3% in a CD or something like that. You may, gosh, could I make more with that? Maybe even make a business out of it. We think that you can. So let's talk about the return of it. That's the invested side of it. What's the return? What's the potential return? So we're going to take a very low projection at what the initial return on that could be. Okay. So typically, once you get going and after you've been in it about 6 months, you're going to already start to see that money coming in because you're doing the doctor's billing. And you'll see that typically within about the first, you know, 6 months when you start doing the billing for your doctor, you're going to be averaging anywhere from about $30,000 to $40,000 within your first year. But where is real success? So I'm going to show you that where real success is because with just billing for one doctor, typically your return on investment will be anywhere from $35,000 to $65,000. I'm going to share that with you how that works. Lloyd's asked a great question. This is a great time. I'm going to answer his question. It's a very short way to be able to answer his question. Are there any royalty fees? Again, there's no royalty fees. That's that one-time investment. We never come back and ask you for any more money. Even if we bring on new services, because I've been around 17 years ago, we've added so many new services. We've actually had services and taken some of those services away because they were just got outdated. But there are most of all that we've got here, and then there's a few here that we keep adding. And so Adam and his team are always looking for new opportunities for you to kind of really boost yourself up there. Let's put it that way. So let's talk a little bit about the whole investment and what it's going to look like. And Tasha says, this is a great olive. I've been on too many of these webinars, and let me say, you do a great job of giving us information. Thank you. My question is there any assistance getting funding for startups of this business? If this is not a platform of this kind for a question, please direct me to the right place to get the answer. Tasha, first of all, I want to tell you thank you. I do enjoy doing these webinars. I appreciate the feedback that you're getting a lot of information from us during the webinar, so I appreciate that. If you'll get back with your business coach, there are some avenues for getting ways to invest in yourself. If you don't have the full $30,000, there are some things that they can help you look into. There may be some creative things you may not have thought of that your business coach here will certainly be able to help you out. And folks, I think it's an appropriate time to ask that question. I appreciate you asking that question early on. And a lot of times people ask, well, do we do any financing? We don't personally do any financing. And that is because there could, obviously you can imagine, there could be a big risk for our current business owners that are dependent upon us. Because remember, after you've made that investment, there's no franchise fee, there's no royalty fees, and there's no ongoing support fees. So, to kind of take that type of risk to possibly have some defaults on loans or anything like that, what we've been able to do is we've partnered with other people that are in a better position to be able to kind of do that kind of stuff and then show you how utilizing some of your own money there that we can help you get there. So Tasha, hopefully that helped answer your question there and for others there. that are having that same question. So I appreciate you asking the question, and I do appreciate the feedback there. I thank you a lot. Because this is the way I look at it. We're people. We all got up this morning. We probably had coffee or tea, and we got breakfast, and we going through our day. We're just people trying to help each other. So I hope that if anything else, you find us just friendly here at American Business Systems, and just trying to give you information. We're not trying to sell you or oversell you or promise you. You can see up here, we're not putting up cars and limos and boats and cruises and things like that. This is business. This is just business. It's a good business. I think medical billing is going to be here much longer than what we can even imagine, especially with, even with AI coming around. Mohammed is asking, are there any commissions? No, we don't. There's no commissions that we do. When you do your billing, as you'll see here in a moment, you're keeping all that revenue. And people were going to probably, and I'll even answer the question, are there service fees to go with iClaim? And I'll talk with you about that. But you're going to find out that the doctors are paying for that, because right now, if you were to go to a doctor's office right now and even do their billing using their platform, they're already paying for a platform. Okay, so everybody get that. So let's say that all the folks that are on here, let's just say that we're one big company and we're going after a new doctor, and the doctor is using XYZ medical billing platform. And we said, and we'll tell them, hey, let us take over your billing. We're a little bit better company than the people that you're using. And we would ask them, do you want to keep your current platform that you're utilizing right now, or do you want to use ours? And the doctors say, well, what's the cost of yours compared to the one I'm using right now? Well, we're going to show you that, doctor. We can show you how not only that it's probably going to be less than what you're probably paying for, but you're actually going to get more out of it. So some people on the front end, as the business entrepreneur, you want to know all the aspects. You don't want to have any hidden fees or anything else like that. I'm trying to tell you about what somebody might call, well, there's a hidden fee here. That money doesn't go to us. It goes to the iClaim platform subscription. That's like, everybody by now, everybody knows what a subscription is. You got a net subscription to Netflix, to Prime Video, to whatever else that you've got on your credit cards that you may not even know that you got signed up for. But it's the same thing. When nobody owns Netflix, nobody owns Prime, nobody owns iClaim. It's just a service that we utilize to do the business. But again, that money doesn't come back to ABS. That's just to utilize that platform. So I hope that it helped answer some of your questions. My name is pronounced Asia without a T. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that with me too. Okay. Hopefully I can remember that as we kind of go through that. Okay. So let's talk about launching your medical billing business. Probably you've already been here. Let me draw your attention to one thing. I kind of went over this last week. You see where it says download our 5 secrets to success. Get that. It's after the webinar, not right now. Go there later. If you weren't on the webinar that we did last week, I really went into detail all about that. So just remember to go get that, download it, and then maybe go watch last week's and then come back and watch this week's. Okay. But let's talk about this all understanding again. It's a $30,000 investment. And so what I'm going to do right now, you'll see down there as you kind of scroll. If you're back on our website, you get over there, you're going to see where it says calculate your potential. So that's where I'm going to go. So let's go right there. So once you see here, you're going to land on this particular page. How much income can you generate can you generate with a medical billing business? And that's kind of what this whole topic is. Can you see an ROI within the first year? So let's talk about that. So billing rates, let's start there. What are you going to charge to do the doctor's to do their billing? Okay. Typically, it's going to be anywhere from 5%, and it could be as high as 12. I just did a webinar interview with one of our business owners long ago. She's billing 12%. I thought, you go, girl. Man, that's pretty hefty. But she's getting it. So she must be doing a bang up job, because the doctor's going, look, I don't have to worry about it. And if you're billing it at that high rate, then you can absorb the cost of doing some business for the doctor. Like you may pay for the platform for the doctor So you could go, look, if I'm going to charge you 79%, I might include the iClaim platform for you. So you're just getting it at a one cost. Does everybody understand that? Our business team behind the scenes, our support team, will really help you kind of make that decision, especially when you do what's called a practice analysis with the doctor. We're really going to help you really know how to price your business properly. So let's get, but we're going to say for now, let's say anywhere from 5 to 8%. And so what we're going to do, I've typically anywhere it's going to be anywhere from 6 to 7. 7 is probably the going rate about right now. So we're going to use that rate here in just a moment. Then we're going to talk about the average claim amount. How much does it cost for a doctor to pay? What is a doctor typically billing? And we're going to use the lowest one out there. What is the doctor typically billing Medicare for reimbursement? The reason I use Medicare, because y'all heard me earlier in the presentation that what was the name of the form that we use? It's called a CMS 1500 form. CMS stands for the Center of Medicare and Medicaid Services. They're the ones that set all the codes. So, but they also, that's who you're billing. You're billing Medicare. So you're billing the government for, this doctor visit. So typically, what is the Medicare reimbursement back to a Medicare patient? Typically, that's going to be lower than what if you're like with Blue Cross Blue Shield or Aetna. Medicare may reimburse the doctor $100, where Blue Cross Blue Shield may reimburse the doctor back $120. Aetna may be $130. It just depends upon the doctor's contract with that insurance. Okay, so that's the average claim amount. So we're gonna fill that in just a moment. Then we're going to fill out another number, and that is the average number of patients the doctor will see in a day. So remember, I mentioned anywhere, it's either going to be 20, 30, 40 patients, no more than that for one provider a day. And then we're going to see what the generated potential income there is. Okay, so Edwin, I'm going to get to your question here in just a moment. Okay, so let's deal with this. So first of all, let's put in, we're going to look at a billing rate of 7%. Okay, so that's typical billing rate. Average claim amount is about $150. So remember I said it's going to be reimbursed back to the doctor depending upon how much time that they spend with that patient. And I'll give you some more information here. There's basically 5 what's called E&M, that's evaluation and management codes. There are 5 codes there: 99211, 212, 213, 214, 215. 9 nines. It starts with 99. If it's in a brand new patient, that was billing for established patients. For a brand new patient, it's going to be a 9901. No, I'm sorry, 201, 202, and so on. That indicates a new patient. The 99212 or 213, those are established patients. Okay, so hopefully I didn't confuse you. Just kind of sharing, kind of give you a little bit of information here. So you can see anywhere it can vary between $80 and $200 is a common range. The number of patients a doctor will see in a day, you can see we've got there 20 to 30 patients is a good rule of thumb. So we just hit the mark right in the 25 mark. All right, so let's say that, all right, who's asking me a question? So let's Edwin. Edwin asked me a question. So let's say this is Edwin's doctor. What could Edwin potentially have a potential income with this one doctor? And remember, we're talking about, can you see a return on your investment in the first year? Your potential yearly income for that particular doctor is $68,250. So obviously, not only have you made your investment, but you're back in the black. You're in that profit margin before the end of the year. Remember, because I said there's that kind of gave that breakdown. You got your investment, you've got your return, and then you got your success. So that's kind of how I've broken this whole thing down here, is that you got your investment about $30,000. You can probably start seeing some of your returns start happening with the first 6 months, 6 to 8 months, so to say. By the end of the year, you're well within your ROI plus that. So Okay, so this is a place where I've got a slide says question. So I'm going to get to Edwin's question. Hi, I appreciate the straightforwardness. What does the 30,000 exactly pay for? Are you able to provide a breakdown? Thank you. I'm about to get into that. That's exactly where I'm about to go, Edwin. So hang on to that and stick with me here. We've got just a little bit of time to get through this. And Mohammed's asking, ABS only works with Medicaid and Medicare or all insurances? No, if you heard me, Mohammed, I said you could be billing Medicare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, any of the insurances are out there. Medicare Railroad, uh, VA, any of those, because you're going to bill all of that on a CMS 1500 form. All right. Before I get into all of the breakdown that Edwin was asking, I'm going to talk with you about how much does an employed medical billing person earn? Okay. So this is somebody that's actually in the doctor's office. Because this is important for you to understand because this is a cost factor to a doctor. Because you're going to find out when you do your analysis with a doctor, you're going to find out that it's actually going to cost the doctor less to have you doing the billing than that doctor having a full-time employee, an FTE, there at the doctor's office. So you can see here that the lowest of the lowest of what's called a certified professional biller is going to make about $56,000. Okay, now these are numbers from last year. Obviously, I'm having to use this because the new numbers haven't come out yet. But you can see there, but if you just kind of took the average of all of that, folks, can you see this? 67,680. 67,680. So that's the average of all of the professional billers, professional coders. Excuse me, that's everybody that has to go to school for a minimum of 2 years up to 4 years. This is the most that they're going to make. Okay, so if you took that same biller with all that experience and they started their own medical billing company, do you realize that they're going to make, let's just say, a minimum of $50,000 per doctor? How many people can they do? Somebody that has a background in all this, and that's all they do is medical billing, they could probably bill for 4 or 5, 6 doctors. Let's just say they did 4 doctors. Well, wouldn't they rather make 50 grand per doctor at 4? I believe that's still $200,000. Why are they satisfied at 67? I don't know why more people that work for doctors' offices aren't there starting their own medical billing companies. It's almost that's the difference between you as an entrepreneur and people who like to work for other people. Okay, you got that? Okay, questions. Lloyd, are you allowed to bill across different states? You bet. That's the beauty of this whole business. You're not locked in just to your location. I know some of you, I think a couple of you that on today's webinar, you're from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I think there was somebody from Arlington, there was somebody else from Dallas. We've got other people here who are already doing billing that's with ABS that are within this area. But it doesn't mean that they're doing billing for doctors that are in this area. They could be doing billing for people in Louisiana, for people in New Mexico, Washington State, throughout Texas. Texas is big enough that, there's plenty of people here. So, all right. Another question's come in. What is the average claim billed monthly? Okay, let me go back to over there just in case you missed that. I will go back over to here. The average claim billed monthly is about $150. See that right there? So if you did billing at 7% of 150 for 25 patients, that average is going to come out to be about that. And folks, this is average. If you want to go to that calculator and you put 6% in for $100, still at $25, you're going to be right at $50,000, I think, about maybe just under that. But remember, the whole conversation that we're having today is what's it going to take to get your return on investment. So that's what we're doing this. So again, you kind of ask this question: why is this important to know? The time that it takes for someone to become a professional biller could be anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half, or you could own your own medical billing company within less than 30 days? And would you rather bill for one doctor or multiple doctors? That's what I'm saying. You just get down to it. You just go, who wouldn't want to bill for more doctors than just being an employee of one doctor and having to drive there? I'd rather sit at home and bill for two or three doctors and make 2 to 3 times of what my salary cap could be right there. So hopefully that help is helping understand this. So this is back to Edwin's question. You see, I've got it highlighted there. Explore your investment. So that's what we're going to do right now. What do you get for the $30,000? Well, let's first of all talk about what does it include. Well, first of all, again, and I'm looking at my time. I've got about 15 more minutes I told you this hour is going to go by fast. What do you get? So one of the things you're going to get, obviously, you're going to get access to the iClaim system. So again, I want you to take some time, get back with your business coach and let them do a demonstration for you. They'll do that for you. They'll be happy to do it for you. And you may say, you know what, I got a business partner I want to bring in this. Can you do it again? Yep, we'll do it again. But plus, you're going to get all you're going to get a website, which I'm going to show you a sample of that. You're going to get 2,000 pieces of custom marketing material. And whenever I say custom marketing material, let's stop here real quickly because this is going to kind of go hand in hand with your website and your marketing material. So some of you have probably seen these multi-level marketing things out there, and it's their website. We'll just call it multilevelmarketing.com / and then it says maybe Eric and OJ. You know, that's how to get to my particular website within that website. That is not how it is here. Let's say that Edwin, I'm going to use Edwin because he asked the question, what am I getting for my $30,000? Let's say, Edwin, you want to name your company Blue Square Medical Billing Company, okay? Just Blue Square Medical Billing or Blue Square Revenue Cycle Management. That's the name of your company. So you may go out there and get your URL for Blue Square Medical Billing, okay? .com. That's yours. So that's what's going to go on your business card, and that's what's going to go on these 200 pieces of custom marketing material, because we're going to print that on there. And it's not going to just be stickers. It's literally going to be printed on there in 4-color processing. That's part of what you're getting, okay? So the investment on the marketing pieces alone is a pretty substantial, because it's 8.5 by 11 glossy, high-end paper marketing pieces. And I think I've got a couple of samples of that. So you're going to get the iClaim, access to the iClaim platform. You're also going to get access to the EMRX. So those are two separate things there, okay? The iClaim is what you're going to utilize, what's called a practice management system. This is what you're going to do the billing for the doctor, okay? The electronic medical record side of it, the EMRX side of it, this is what the doctor's using to actually see their patients with. What's great about it is that they are not just, we don't have to, what's the word I'm trying to find here? I don't have to merge these two pieces of program together, or interface. That was the word I'm trying. We're not having to interface. This is all one system. That's the beauty about it, is all one system. So it works seamlessly between doctor and biller. Okay. And then the office staff can use it because they're able to do all of their scheduling within iClaim. There's so many other things that they can do within iClaim. That's why I want you to go do a demonstration of that software. Then you've got all the products and services, which is, some people want to do some dental billing. We've got Dentamax. Choice Pay and Quick Collect are some ways to help get their doctor's revenue back into the office. So Choice Pay is just a good way, especially with people with high deductibles, to get the doctor paid on maybe a weekly basis or a monthly basis and kind of get that going. Quick Collect is there to kind of help collect some of the old money. Compliancy Guard, which has to do with HIPAA compliancy. This is a big thing right now. Virtual care, I've kind of already shared a little bit about that. That's called remote patient monitoring. Audit Guard and Auto Card. These are all these different products and services that we have. So when it comes to a website, This is probably one of the biggest things that hold up most businesses. Once you get started, you know that you need to get a website because that's the most modern day shingle that you're going to have out there to hang out and say that I'm in business is to have a website. And most people don't even know what to say in a website. We've got it all written for you. We can show you even how to tweak it so you can make it a little bit more towards you. But we've got several different templates. We're always adding newer templates to this mix so that not everybody has the same look and feel that everybody else might have. There's different ways, but whenever it gets down to the iClaim, EMRX, Quick Collect, you can see these like those little, call it like a hero graphics down there at the bottom. We can highlight certain of those that you're able to customize yourself and get that done in there. Plus, you're going to have access to what's called our licensee support site. Reason it's called licensees, we used to call all of our folks licensees instead of business owners, but business owners sound a little bit better, and we didn't want to change it to business owner, you know, support site. It's always been licensee support site because it's called the ABS LSS. And that's there. So all of your documentation that you're going to need. So your supporting documentation for like what you're going to need to do your contracts, your agreements with your doctors. There's also some contracts and agreements that you can utilize if you want to hire sales reps or if you're going to hire a biller. So we've got all of that built inside of the support site. There's also other things that you're going to want to get into the licensee support site. There's marketing helps, tips, tricks. This is where you're going to add if you need to add more or get more of the products that you're going to need. Again, these are all the different. These are the 8.5 by 11 marketing pieces there. So let's say that you need a little bit more of iClaim or CodeWrite or Quick Collect or one of these. You can just order them as you need it and just get them printed as you need it. So this is so important for you to understand. You're getting all of this delivered to you basically the first week when you start with us here at That Way. There's a lot of great questions, so everybody hold on. We're kind of getting wrapped up here, but I want to finish up here with a little bit of obviously we can't go into depth in every one of these, but I want to kind of share with you a little bit what these services and products will do. So CodeWrite gives you the option, or not the option, but the opportunity to talk with your doctors day one to tell them that you've got a professional coder on staff. And that's basically what it is. It's call it a coder on call. Okay. So it's professional coders that we have marketed with. They help us with all of our coding needs. And whenever I say us, we're talking about you. So let's say that your doctor needs some of the claims that they're working on coded properly. That can be done through CodeWrite. So you just simply scan in the doctor's medical charts. The coders will take it to there. They'll change all of those words and everything that the doctor's saying into proper codes. But basically, if the doctors are using iClaim anyway, you really don't need this. Okay, you only need this if you're dealing with a doctor who does like surgery and they have to dictate everything while they're going through the surgery, and it just goes to somebody. So we can show you how to get all that dictation to the coders. They'll change it into codes and get all that done. Audit Guard is the same certified professional coders, but can actually help a doctor avoid audits. Well, let me take that back. Avoid issues during an audit. There's Medicare will always do audits on if a doctor is billing Medicare, believe me, they're going to go through some type of audit with Medicare. And it's not just Medicare, they could go through a Blue Cross Blue Shield audit, and then Aetna audit, a Cigna audit. And what they're always looking to say, is the doctor charging us too much or are they not charging us enough? Audit Guard will go in there and do like a preliminary audit as if it were going through a Medicare audit and help the doctor say, you know what, doctor, you need to tighten up these codes here because if you were audited, they're going to bust you. So this is a great door opener. I've used this several times just to get the doctor's first part of the business and just say, look, I'm not here to do your billing right now, but I can provide a service for you because I know that you've probably gone through an audit or maybe facing one pretty soon. Oh yeah, I've got to do that pretty soon. Let's make sure that you're coding properly. This is going to be helpful. And the great thing about it, once they've gone through the audit, the coders have gone through the audit, they're the ones that you're going to set up with the doctor to let them tell the doctors what they need to do differently. HIPAA compliancy. It's another service. Now is a great time to introduce this to your doctors. So those of you on the call today that are looking to get started, this is a service I would start doing immediately. As soon as you got the training on it through your training class, I'd start marketing this immediately because for the first 4 months of this year, it's going to take that long for a doctor's office to update all of their HIPAA rules and compliances and charts and get everybody assessed and knowing what's going on with all the new HIPAA rules and everything. This is an ongoing thing that you can help doctors with. Quick Collect, again, it's managing receivables for that doctor's office. Obviously, we're helping the doctors recover lost profits. Remember, you're a medical revenue management. You're not just a medical billing company. That's why we have all these different services that we have here. And then lastly, what you're also getting, Edwin, and the rest of the group here, you're going to get a copy of the new Thriving Medical Practice. Now, this is not just a copy. You're going to get several copies of this. And the great thing about it is that we're going to customize this for you because we want your name to be on the front cover of the person that wrote the foreword to the book. This is important for you to understand. You're going to get this set of these when you start with us, and it's going to have the forward and Edwin. Well, it'll be Edwin and your last name. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. I don't want to butcher your name, but it would be Edwin and his last name, CMRM. And we are going to give you even the opportunity, if you want to, take what we've already pre-written for the forward and give you an opportunity to tweak it. If you want to make it a little bit more personal, you can certainly do that. We give you that option. So this is huge. This could help you land your first client within the first 30, 60 days, this book alone, because what happens is when you ever actually get this in the doctor's hands, and we're going to show you some strategic ways of showing them how to get through that book quickly, they're going to call you and go, hey, I want to talk to the person that wrote the book, and I want to talk to Edwin. All you did was write the forward to the book. So, and plus we've got the 9 ways doctors let money slip through their fingers, very similar of how we do that. Okay, I'm going to pause here. I'm going to go through some of these questions because, folks, we got 4 minutes left. I wish I had another 30 minutes to go with you. So hopefully everybody's getting their money's worth today. Kishore is asking, does ABS provide continued support for business owner success? Kishore, yes, we have unlimited lifetime of support for you. You never have to pay us any more money to get support. Edwin, based upon a previous experience, which type of doctor and profession has the highest net earning patients? Patients that pay the most. Man, you're spot on, Edwin. You're thinking the right way. Okay. Obviously, you got chiropractors. And actually you can actually do billing for massage therapists. So you can see that would be some of your lower reimbursements. Okay. Your higher reimbursements are going to be obviously your specialties, your cardiologist, podiatrist, endocrinologist, those types of doctors. So what I would probably be looking for, Edwin, is at least a PCP who is a DO, doctor of osteopathic. They're going to bill a little bit more because they're going to spend a little bit more time with the patients. But you can start kicking it up from there. Podiatry is a good sector to look in. Obviously, cardiology. There's so many different parts of cardiology that are out there, and it's too difficult. Once you start to get and understand urologist, podiatry, I think I've named several of those there that you could certainly look in. Muhammad said, hey, can you please cover how we get paid? Do we invoice the doc? Yes, you invoice the doctor. You're going to do that on a monthly basis. I think Raphael's asking the same question. Do we get paid weekly? I would suggest that because what you're going to do is do all the billing for the doctor for 30 days. You're going to reconcile that after that 30 days. Probably that second week, you can get everything reconciled, which means that you're going to make sure the doctor actually got paid and his money's in their account. Then you're going to say, okay, doctor, I helped you collect $20,000 last month. I'm going to charge you 7% of that. So, whatever that comes out to be, what, $1,400 or so, I think. I'm just guessing. And it's going to be different, obviously. So that's what you're gonna do. So you're gonna do that usually typically on a monthly basis. Keyshore, will there be any conflict if I go and propose this to a doctor who are outside of my area? No, I encourage you to. Let's just say that you live here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm gonna pick on that because there was I think a few over on this area. Those that live in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, gosh, you got Plano, you got Mansfield, you got all these different locations. You can even go up to the Red River, which is almost in Oklahoma. You could do billing up in Oklahoma. You could go to Louisiana. You can go wherever you want to go to. My first client that I ever got doing billing was actually in Atlanta. It was in Georgia. That was my first client. I live here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I got a lead. I got the job or got it. Mohammed, how do we get paid? Okay, somebody's asking, do we send out an invoice to doctors? Yes. So we help you with all that, get all that set up. Last question, how will you be eligible for the money back guarantee? Okay, let's get over to there, folks. I've got some more things as you can, folks, you can see here. I got some more slides. You can see I could go through so much more. Here's a little bit about training. I'm probably going to take then over May next week. So if you're very interested, join me next Wednesday. I'm probably just going to do a very thorough overview of training, so that you know all the things that you get there. Someone asked there again, can lifetime of support that's 24/7 on our private website, and basically Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, we've got our team there. So again, that's how you can get your ROI in the first year. I think you can see that. I'm going to answer Mohammed's question about the 30-day money back guarantee. So what makes you eligible for that? Okay. So what I would ask you to do is once you fill out your application with us and you've invested over here with us, you're going to get to your training. You can see there on that training, there's 10 modules. I'm going to put that back over here. There's 10 modules. It's probably going to, let's just say even if it takes you full 10 weeks, you're probably going to knock out 1 or 2 of these modules per week. So you can probably get done, folks, you'll get done with this training in less than 10 days. Okay. So you get all of that done, and then you still have time to evaluate it. And you go through, and you're going to go through, just decide if this is what you want to do. Because during your training, your instructor is going to start giving you lessons and things to do after the training. You're going to want to start doing those things. So who knows if you may not even have an appointment to see a doctor within the first week that you're within training. So that's what I'm saying. So we give you everything that you need to get through training, and in some, that finally at that point you go, well, if this is not for you, ask for your money back and get it back. That's all you got to do. Asia says, can we do a Zoom presentation for medical facilities that are outside of the state? Sure. Yeah. You can do webinars. You can do everything like you want to do. I mean, that's the way to do it. Let me tell you what your next steps are. Again, I've gone over the the hour. Felt like I had a lot of information I want to share with you and give you as much as you can, get your money's worth today as best I can. Download the research guide. That was that first thing I showed you up at the top of the webinar. That was that 65-page thing. Just ask for that and get that. Then I want you to browse our YouTube channel. That's where we have all of our past webinars. This one will be done probably by tomorrow evening, if not Friday. You can watch it over the weekend, hopefully, because I gave you a lot of information today. You might want to go back and review that. Then ask your business coach that you're working with right now. Get a list of some licensees that you can call, or some of our business owners that you can call. Get in touch with them. Ask them the hard questions. That's not like a Zoom webinar that we're doing right now. This is going to be a one-on-one call between you and our business people, business owners, current business owners here. I've already mentioned to you a couple of times, get with your business coach here, set up a live demonstration so that you can get that and get that wrapped in your head. Get a copy of the purchase agreement. It's a link that they'll send you. It's about 5 pages long. You can review that. That first page, I think it actually talks about the money back guarantee. It's a short little paragraph, pretty much to the point. No wiggle room on our side on that one. And then finally, get your funding and training going. We can get you started in your training probably as early as next week. You'll go through the first couple of training sessions probably as next week. The second week after that, which would take you in probably the middle part of February, you're already going to start learning how to do some of your marketing, getting yourself out there. You're probably getting your name and everything for your website, getting all that taken care of. Because folks, literally by this time, let me just say this. Today's the last day of January. Who would have thought we've just started this year, in 31 days we're already into it? Tomorrow starts February the 1st. let's get this going. We'd love to have you on our team here at American Business Systems. Call us here at 866-565-8413. Hopefully you got a lot out of it today. I wish you the best as you continue to keep doing your due diligence. Ask us some more questions. Get back with your business coach. Next week, again, I'm probably going to spend a little bit of time on training, what you're going to do with the training class and what you're going to learn out of that training class. We'll kind of go do a deep dive into training and look forward to having you on here next week. But again, give us a call, 866-565-8413. Will you email us next week's invite? Sure. And when whoever, you know who your business coach is? If you don't know who your business coach is, call the number, ask for it. They'll get it to you. Yep. Demir says, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody being here this afternoon. Hopefully you got a lot of information. Y'all have a good evening, and I will see you next Wednesday. Y'all have a great week. Bye-bye.